This video is going to go over the superficial muscles of the trunk. Muscles can be found on page 73 and 74 of your lab book. So here's our torso model. You're going to probably want to rotate it either using the play button, which is right here, or the arrows. And that is because it is a portrait shot, and the app I used to make these actually only wants landscape. So, our superficial trunk muscles. This muscle right here is the pectoralis major. It's inserting on the intertrabecular sulcus right here, and it is an adductor and a medial flexor, which means it goes inwards. Down here, that is the rectus femoris. We have 8 sections of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The linea aspera is in the middle. The tendinous intersections are going like this. Now, I am going to rotate this way a little bit. You see these muscle fibers? They are running downwards. They're starting at the ribs. They're ending on the pubic symphysis right there. So this is the external intercostal muscle. If I go to this side, they've taken a layer out. So see the pectoralis major is missing. I can see this serratus anterior better. These muscles right here, that's the internal intercostal because it's starting right here at the iliac crest and it's moving up towards the ribs and the linea alba. So it is moving downwards. Now this is on both sides. The half superficial, half deep confuses students. So if we look at this guy, we have the external oblique right here going from the ribs down to the pubic symphysis right there. So you're going to have to look on the models for the lab exam. Well, here's the pectoralis major. I don't see the pectoralis minor or the ribs. This must be a superficial view. And also look at the fibers. These are running from the ribs downwards. So if you look at the complete view of this model, you have the external obliques on both sides going down. And then here's our little victory model. Oops. We see the external obliques right here. So our next muscle is the serratus anterior. That's the serratus anterior right here. See how it looks like a saw blade on the side of the external oblique right there? If I scroll over to the other side, I see it better. It's nice that the arm has been removed. So the serratus anterior is on top of the rib cage, and it is going to stabilize the scapula, and it actually, when it contracts, is going to pull it down this way. See how the fibers are going, which causes this to actually elevate. So the serratus anterior is going to the posterior part of the scapula. So the back. We have right here the trapezius. It's a triangle-shaped muscle. It's going to be covering the rotator cuff muscles in here and the rhomboid muscles, which we'll talk about in a future lab. So this is the trapezius right here. It's a triangle-shaped muscle. And this is the latissimus dorsi right here. So the latissimus dorsi, see how it's sneaking underneath the arm? It actually sneaks around this side and goes to the intertrabecular sulcus, my favorite sulcus of the bones. Now, since we're here, I'm going to include the deltoid because I know it's in your lab. Okay, so in case you don't know, that's the deltoid. That's the biceps brachii. So I'm including those even though they are arm muscles because I'm pretty sure you know the biceps and the deltoid. Then our posterior view, this is the triceps brachii. So I'll skew those on today's follow-up activity. So in case you don't know what they are, there they are. And since it's on here, that is the gluteus maximus. And if we scroll over here, it's cut away and we can see some deeper muscles that it's hiding. I don't have to worry about those on this model for right now, though. And it got cut on the leg. I probably could have made it a little bit higher and gotten more of the leg muscle when I did this video. But I want to point out 2 leg muscles that I might ask you. This is the Sartorius. It's starting at the anterior inferior iliac crest and then crosses. And then this is the Rectus Femoris. That's a hip flexor as well. See our Sartorius. There's the Latissimus Dorsi going across. Moving on, we have the rotator cuff muscles in here. This right here is the infraspinatus. It would be right here. And this is the teres major right there. This muscle is probably the teres minor. I wouldn't see them taking the infraspinatus out and leaving the teres major. So this is the infraspinatus. It's part of your rotator cuff. This is the teres major. It's not part of your rotator cuff. So if you click on blue dot, this view comes up. Maybe I was teaching to the activity you're doing next when I added those two muscles. We have the trapezius there. We have the infraspinatus. We have the teres major. We have the Latissimus dorsi. We have the Gluteus Maximus. Now, on this picture, just because I had room, I put two of the hamstring muscles. The lateral muscle is the biceps femoris, and that is why I keep saying Triceps Brachii and biceps brachii, because they're the bicep and tricep of the arm. You have another tricep, you have another bicep. So the bicep femoris is lateral, right there. And then the semitendinosus is medial. So rotate, try to find all the muscle man. And those pink and blue and green dots are going to be zoomed in static pictures from your logbook. Thank you.